Alright, how's it going, guys? Today we'll be going over some login stuff. So what we went over last time is Angular and kind of how to set that up. Just a basic web app. So a quick thing I want to talk about before I get there is that you can use, so Angular's kind of like Android. I try to describe this as best I can, and hopefully I'm getting the point across. And I'm just trying to beat this point in. But basically, what Angular is like Android, where you're looking at something. It's just a lot of the visuals. It's good for the user, but like it doesn't contain the data permanently. That's where the Node.js comes in. And why I'm talking about this is because there's other things you can use other than Angular if you're disliking the feel of Angular. There's also, I just would like to mention React and Vue. Those two are really good as well. They have great communities. Vue I think Vue is probably the best one, other than, in my opinion, Angular. But so those I just wanted to talk about really quick. And now I'll continue. So last time we went over Angular and kind of how to set up a basic website. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add in, because we added our blog, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take our posts, and then we're going to kind of convert that also into a contact or address book to continue with our theme for this whole tutorial that we've been doing since day one. So we'll add that in, this one. And then another thing we're going to add in is a lot of the security things. If you ever make this site live, the way it is right now, it's very if somebody can mess with it pretty easily. So we're going to take a couple of security precautions. We can't do the full thing because I can't host something for you, but hopefully I'll be able to, at the end, guide you into the right direction of where to go security-wise past this. So I'll get right into it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So just like usual, I'm just going to cd into my where this is located, the live stream kind of repository. Then it's going to be part 5, and then I think it is, nope, that's what it is, problem solving site. Alright, cool, so I'll get into that one, and then I'll basically do the same thing again. This is for MongoDB, I guess is something people call it. It's the word on the street these days. So cd documents cp live part 5 problem solving. Alright, cool. Alright, so I guess I'll just start it up and kind of show you guys where we ooh, caps locks. Alright, oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Go db path d document, and you could do tab here as well. Because sometimes this isn't a very long path, so I think it'd be good. Data. Ooh. Data, perfect. I'm also starting this a little early than usual. Usually I do this around 7, but some things came up, so I'm starting a little early, just in case anybody was wondering. And then I will kind of build what we had. We don't really have to because I didn't do anything with it since then, but so hopefully it builds. I mean, if it doesn't anymore, then something's really going on. Let's see, so while it's, I guess, getting ready to build, I've never seen the build take this long before, not just to initiate. I guess I'll say another thing, you don't have to use Node.js as well for your server side, even though I like it. I think it's very easy. I think, like I said, there's reasons why I took this, and I've already gone over those. But there's also, like, you can do it in C++. You can do it in C#. You could do it, I don't know. Yeah, I think you could do it in Python, because there's this thing called Django if you guys want to work purely in Python. But I found, there we go. Yeah, so if I forgot to look at that one video to see if it saves it and then uploads it once everything comes back. But yeah, so Golang. All right, that's you guys are gonna get like triple vision. All right, I don't know why it's doing this, but you know, sometimes it has its days. So then I'm just gonna run node mon as usual, and then node mon server. All right, and then we're gonna go to our site. Localhost 3000, boom, then we go to the blog, and there we go, we have a test post, bang, bang. So that's what we had, so now we're going to add to the book. So let's go over to, this is Adam, and I'm already within our folder. If you need to open it, do so. And then I'm just, basically we're going to now add to this address book. So I'm going to open addressbook.ts and addressbook. And then I'm really, it's very similar to what we did. First off, actually, okay, so what we're going to actually do is I'm going to create, first it's going to be a new file. I thought I did this, but I guess I didn't. So I'm going to do contact.model.ts. We're just going to create a model similar to the model we have down here. So we could even just copy this. It's going to be a lot of copying and pasting in the beginning, just because they're so similar. And usually when you can copy and paste as much as we're going to in this one, you could probably get away with, ooh. I mean, it's not like that big of a deal. Usually it infers it's there, but I'm going to put a comma there just in case. I mean, a semicolon. So then, yeah, this one would probably be, we want a name, we want a number, and we want an email. We don't care about the date. And I'm going to change this to email. And I'm going to, oh no, actually that's going to be number. And then this one's going to be email. Good to go. And I'm going to get rid of date again. We could leave that as post ID. Why not? Why not? Because it doesn't really make sense. But I'm just going to leave it because really as long as ID is there, I know what it is. Everyone should know what it is. It's the ID. So this dot number. And number is like a thing, so like a defined variable, but it's okay, it understands. Like it'll highlight it here because the thing I have to recognize predefined variables within TypeScript and Node recognizes that that's a variable, but it's just going to look for the local host one, and the local one, so don't need to worry about that. I recommend, I guess, not using number, but I've tested it out and it works, so we're just going to keep rolling with it. How about that? All right, so then we're going to go to the start our address book. So first we're going to go to here, and I'm just going to copy all of this. Oh my gosh. It's huge. All right, it's huge. Okay. So now we're going to go to our blog.component. And so there's the things that you can and cannot if you copied it, would kind of be silly. So this is one of those things right here that we don't really want to copy. So we'll just copy below that and down. Everything else would be fine. Boom. And then I'm just going to go to TS here. And really, since we copied all the way down, we could just take all that out and then go boom. So that's pretty good. Yep. And then, yeah. And then we need to do the includes, and we also need the provider. So provider, or providers, I guess, and then it's going to be, well, we'll go back over here. It's data services, but we haven't included that yet. So data service, actually. I lied. All right, so that we need. Put this right in here. I think yep, that works. And then instead of this, we're going to include contact. And that's going to be contact. Save. Then we could just copy this. Post it right in there. Alright, cool beans. So, some things that we need to change is this is going to be contact. We're going to leave show because we want to either show or not show the form that we're adding everything to, and then this is going to be a contact array. And then everything else is pretty good. Well, not everything. We're going to can't get ahead of ourselves here. So yeah, everything's good there. We do not need all this jazz, so we'll just take this out. Actually, we do need that last one. Close call. So I'm just gonna, just like I call that other one posting, we can call it contacting, and this is gonna be a new contact, of type contact, and then the new contact. And name is gonna be, f dot name, f dot value dot name, that's right. Dot name, f dot value dot number. Just get all our fields set, and then email. Yep, we need that. And then we'll just come down here, add contact. I don't think we defined that yet. Don't worry, we'll get to the web service.ts part, and then contact. They're really similar, except for the point where they're. And then we're gonna do this .contact.shift, contact.shift, and then unshift actually, and then contacting. I don't think shift is a real thing. And then we're gonna close it up. All right, that seems good. This .contact, unshift, contacting. All right, that looks good. And then this is gonna be delete contact. And I'm just gonna call this book, because I think we used that variable name before, so it's not really strange for us to use it. Book. And this .book. Alright, this looks good to me. Oh, get all contacts. Blog post. We're gonna call this all contact for contacts, and then this is gonna be a contact. You just want the variable names to make sense. Guess we kind of could have got away with a lot of it if we just changed the the web service functions. We could have got away with a lot of it, but then it wouldn't really make sense. Now would it? You guys be the judge of that. I think it's .link doesn't have a function. It's not a function. Let's go check. We're gonna go all the way down. Bloop. I guess not. Interessante. Alright, so then we're gonna come over here, and then really a lot of this is the same. I like when, if I have two things that are very similar, I like them to look similar, so a lot of this is gonna be the same. So this is all good. I think it's right down here and what we're gonna need to change. Yeah, definitely. So this is also gonna be an input. We're actually gonna need another input on top of this as well. And then we're going to change this name to name. Placeholder is going to be name. And this is name. And then this is going to be number. And this is going to be number. And this one's going to be number over here. Not a dot. We're not stating it's a number, we're just saying put your number here. Number, and then this isn't a text area anymore, so that wouldn't really make sense. And I'm just going to copy this part. Like I said, a lot of copying in this. Boom. We're going to enter. Boom. Alright, so then this is going to be email. I really want that to be capital. Oh no, name is... The name of it is lowercase. It's the placeholders that I like to be capital. Email again. Then we're going to come over here, and this is going to be email, and it's going to be lowercase. So that should all be good. And we already took care of that on the other side. So now we just need to go down to when we display them. It's going to be cont of contact. Is admin is good. Delete. We're going to pass in the instance of the contact we're at. I think I said it a lot this time, more than usual. Maybe I say it all the time, and this is just the first time I realized it. But, oh well. Oh, this isn't what I want to do at all. Okay, so the title is going to be that, and then the, oh yeah, I guess it is. But then I just want this to be email. This is going to be name. And this one's going to be, you guessed it, number. Number. Count. Alright, oh. Where do I want to put them in here? You know, I don't really think it matters, but let me see. Yeah, you know what? We'll take out the subtitle and we'll put these. Control C, Control V, put those in there, and then we won't have a subtitle. You know, it didn't really matter. It's like if we just had to take out either this part or the subtitle. I think this makes more sense. We'll see though. All right, so this seems good. Good enough at least. We'll see when we try to build it. We're gonna go to our services now, and we're gonna start really just copying again. All right, so then we're gonna need a private contacts. And it's going to be of type contact, and it's going to be an array, and it's going to be set first equal to an empty array. And then we're going to have to import the contact model. So we're going to go to the top, and then we're going to do contact, contact. All right, this seems good right now. And then really, we want all this functionality again for our, Control Z, okay. Copy all of these, Control C. Oh gosh. There we go. Oh, we actually, okay, we'll want to, there we go. Oh yeah, okay. All right, I thought I just posted that little thing. It didn't. All right, so where do we stop? So add, get all, get latest, delete, add, there we go. So this is gonna be contact, and this is going to be a variable we're going to call contact, and it's going to be of type contact, contact, and then, come on, click, there you go. Contact, the variable that's within the function, and then the global to within this class, I guess. Contacts is that one. Then we have the variable from the function that we're passing in, for that we want to add. And then I think that probably called this context would make sense. That's why it's always nice to have like a naming system, because then you don't have to go back and check every time. Watch, now that I said that though, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be something very different. We'll find out. But it is nice to have a naming system, even if I don't follow the rules. Yeah, I know. This is a nuisance a little bit, but also you realize that we have two variables called contacts. One is within this local mapping, and the other one's global. Since we don't call this .contacts, it knows that it's referring to this one, to that one. Transform contacts, push new contacts. Oh, I just realized we have to go up there and change the add, but you know, it's all right. All right, because we have to change all of these. All right, and this is gonna, oh, it actually is, it's name, but it's contact.name. .name, contact.title. That's actually not right. It's contact.number is gonna be the next one. And then contact.email. Email. Yep, that's right. Okay, cool. That looks pretty good. All right, and this is contacts. This is contacts. And you guessed it, contacts. All right. Don't worry, we're very close to being done with this part. And then moving on to this more secure. Oh, what did I call this? Oh, no. There we go. Yeah, contact is right. The security part of this. Contact. Get latest, and then we want get the contact. And then again, we want to change this to contact. And then this to contact. And whenever I do this, I always run. And we back. Alright, so hopefully maybe it's back and running again. So we'll do email, spell everything correctly. That'll make our lives a little bit easier when we're going through all the errors from the copying. Good way to finish that word there, Zach. I'm afraid I didn't do the... Yep, I knew I didn't. Okay. Contact. Alright. Good to go. Again, if you guys see the trend here, you probably could have fast forwarded through a lot of it, but hopefully you thought of that before you got all the way through. But I mean, I guess some of them are kind of obscure, which ones to change, which ones not to change. Oh no, not capital. Map response. Alright, sweet. So hopefully this works. So now this is all good, at least I think it is. Yes, ng build. You know, we'll probably run into a couple of errors, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who knows? But they'll be easy fixes. They're copy errors, so you kind of really know what to look for. You know, yeah, okay. So contacting does not, didn't you mean contact? So this is address component, address book. Okay, so they're all within the address book component, so not within the service, at least yet. So so contacting does not exist on type. Oh yeah, it does. I meant contact. There we go. Okay, contacting. Okay, that looks like it makes sense. So what are the other errors? There's 3 of them, at least. Post does not exist, and add type. Yeah, that's a copy error. Faux show. Post. You could do Control F, but you know, there we go. There it is. And then let's see one more. Actually, it told me the line. I should have just looked at this. 42, yep, 42. Then 42, 43, cannot find name book. Book does not exist. They're very mad about the book. Cannot find name post in contact.model.ts. Alright, so they're very mad about the book part. Oh, that's why, because it's here. So this has to be, this is what we're going to call book. And this isn't book, this is contact. I don't know what I was thinking there. We want to splice the this.contact. Okay. Yeah, I would be mad about that too. Come on, Zach. That was weak stuff. That was weak stuff. Alright, so we can't find post. Yep, that makes sense. So this is email. Email. Alright, cool. So then that should be good. Hopefully. You'll never know. We will know. In a couple of seconds here. The next part would probably be service, because I think it checks that after it checks all of the components. But we'll see. And if there is, just takes a couple of seconds. I think I started this at 5:30. We're doing good timing. Alright, cool. So nodemon server. Alright, good to go. Refresh. The home didn't change, but we're now on address book. And this is actually good. We had addresses stored in there when we did the postmon. I actually did, I think, 2 more postmon since the last, or maybe 1 more postmon, just to triple check. So yeah, so these are good. It's actually going into the database, getting it, and showing it to us. So we could We can even delete one and make sure it deletes, so we'll delete that one. And we'll refresh. If it's not there, that means it's not there. So what I should say, and I guess I didn't say this last time, when you click this minus button, it's automatically going to go away no matter what, even if it's not going back to the server, because what you're really doing is you're saving a little bit of time by just cutting it off anyway. Of the local, you have a local variable, like I said, Angular is all on this person's computer. And actually I could show you where that we just fixed one of those, address book.ts. See, this .splice is actually taking it, and it's saying, I know I'm about to go delete it anyway, so I'm just going to, instead of waiting for the delete to come back, we're just going to make it nice and quick, because that's what I know I'm doing, and I'm just going to take it out of the array already, that we already have of all of the things there. So when it hits that minus, it takes it out of the array, it deletes it, and then it goes to the server and deletes it. So if it wasn't doing this part correctly, if you didn't refresh, if you refreshed, it's going to come back. But if it's actually going to the database, it's not. So that's what's happening there. And again, it has everything in the right order, which is nice. Sometimes that doesn't happen. And I'm going to delete one of these Zacks because that's just redundant. Okay, deleted another one. Good to go, and then we'll add one. So, oh, that's huge! Holy crap! All right, well, we'll try to fix that, but it doesn't really matter for the functionality. So we'll do, let's see, my brother Eric, and then we'll just do 555 543 342 1. I don't know if that's 7 or not. Eric@gmail.com, and then we'll hit our little sendy button guy, and again, it adds it even if it doesn't go, because we're just adding it to the array to save time, really. But then we'll refresh to make sure that it's saved. It's saved. All right, cool. So that's good. I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to change the size of that really quick before we go on to the next part. Here is that input. Max width. Yep. Oh, height. Height. Do we even declare a height for the other ones? No. Okay. So if you change that, save it, and then build it, we'll get there eventually. So then we're going to go to the home component. So we're really close to being done with everything. The home component is very easy. So let's get to that. So first off, we're going to go not to the web, but to the component part. And I'm going to go to address book, and I'm going to copy all of the things that we kind of copied over before. And this time I'm just really going to copy the top part, because that's all we really... the rest of it isn't as similar. It's actually a lot easier, but it's not as similar. So there we go. This one's going to be provider. Open and close. Put in data service. Or it's going to be a private variable called web service of type data service, but I'm just going to make sure. I like to keep that consistent between all of my models as well. Component, yep. There you are. All right, so then basically what we're going to do is we're just going to create a contact. And this is going to be of type contact. And then we're going to create a post variable. And that's going to be of type post. Duh. All right, and then we're going to do within ng, we're going to do this dot web service. We're going to get the latest one. So we haven't used that function yet, so we're going to do that now. Service dot get latest contact. And then we're going to subscribe to it as usual because it's an observable. Subscribe. And then once we subscribe to it, we need to put how are we going to handle it. So we're going to expect that responsive contact, which we know we get. And then we're going to map it to, we're going to throw this little function in there once we get there. Contact equals contact. All right, that should be good. And then we're going to basically just going to, we can just copy this. That's my copying noise. And then we're going to put post in here. Get latest post. And it's clearly going to be blog. I guess we could name it blog post. Why not? Or post. And then we're going to call post. And this dot post equals post. All right, cool beans. Yeah, so that it should do that. And then if we go to the HTML part of it, it's going to be cards, so I really might just go and copy the cards at least from before. So yeah, let's do that. All right, so I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to copy one of them, and then we know how the others change. So I'm just going to copy from card to card. All right, cool. And we're going to need 2 of these, so 1, 2. All right, those are there, but first we're going to create a div to kind of display the name of what this is. So div, and then we're going to put style equals, style it a little bit to make it look nice and pretty. Margin top 20 pixels. Width is going to be 100%. Max width is going to be 4,000. Text align, and it's going to be center. And then that's the whole style that we need. And then within there, we're going to have just a paragraph, which is P. And we're actually going to style that as well. Style equals color. Color we want is our good old 315681. Oh, we want more than that though. Font size. Oh, I got viruses. Virus threat. Font size. We're gonna make that 20 pixels, and this is gonna just be for our heading. So we're gonna close that up, and it's gonna say latest blog post. That'll come first. P, and then we're going to close that div because that's finished with that, and then we're going to add a card, which we have. So the card is going to be z-index 0, and the card title is going to be the title of the card. So it's going to be, this is going to be post dot title. Alright, that seems pretty good. And then, why did I copy the input? That was stupid. Alright, oh, okay. Well, we're gonna go back. Come on, Zach, you're better than this. So I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna copy that. And then I'm gonna go back to the home component. It's just that these are very similar, and the other ones are not as similar, so but I do not want the delete function, so we're going to take this whole thing out. This whole thing out. Alright, so then this one's just going to be post. Alright, you know, I'm just going to, this one's going to be for contact. Dot. And this is actually, we don't need this for loop. We're not within the div, so we're just going to go back. Boom. Boom. We don't need this div. Yep. I guess you could come up here and do shift tab as well. There you go. And contact dot name is what we did here. And then contact. Alright, so that should be good. Yeah, we don't want that delete function there. We want that all good. Alright, I'm just going to delete this because that was dumb. Alright, so this is going to be our second one. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to copy this. Control-C, Control-V, and this is going to be latest contact. While you're showing the latest contact you added as if you're excited about it, beats me, but it keeps with the theme, so I'm sticking with it. I kind of like it because then it encourages you, I hope, to kind of go back and see if you can get from this server that we're serving to go and get the contact information, see if you can put it within your within the Qt application and the TK Enter application. that we made, which I think is cool. A lot of reasons why that's pretty cool, but I digress. So this one's going to be post.title, post.name, post.date, post.post. Alright, that should be pretty good. So now if we build it all, it should be there. I wasted 30 minutes only, I think. And then we'll go and we'll start making post. Cannot find post. Cannot find name post. Well, I don't know if we imported post, so there's that. Oh, this is blog post. So there's that one. Somebody probably caught that before. And then we have to put post in here. Duh. Alright, so then we just build real quick. Saved it all, yes I did. Alright, so then this should be good, and then when we load, we should see the home page. Then all pages are filled out. It looks pretty, it's great. All things are great. So that's gonna be good. Excited about that. Three, two, one. There you go. Alright, load on server. Load it up. Alright, we'll refresh this, so it shouldn't have changed. Oh, and then you can click over. Oh no! Well, the only thing is within our HTML then. So if we go here, it should be a console error. Unexpected JSON token. Unexpected JSON token. Oh, actually, I think I know what this is. Actually, I don't. No, I don't. So we're gonna go back to contact this .subscribe. Let's see if our thing crashed. Sometimes when that happens, it crashes. Sometimes it doesn't. That usually means that's on this side of it. So get latest, return transform contact equals new contact. It's about the same as up there. Okay. I don't really understand, but okay. Response, where's get latest post? Should be the same because I mean it's copy and paste. But let's just go to our API.js, which is actually up here because it's in server, which comes before source. And I think it's latest. Oh, and contact latest. That might be it. Contact latest, and let me guess. Post latest. Okay, well at least those are the same. So let's go back to our web.service.ts. So then we're going to come back here, and this is going to be latest, and it's going to be post latest. Go down here. Beautiful. Alright, so then no. Gotta build that first. ng build. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, then after this we'll get right onto our security part. On server. Oh, failed. But why though? Unexpected token. Huh. I mean, I still might have the wrong name, so let's go back here to API.js. Actually, I'm going to copy this because it's actually easier to change the API.js than it is to change contact. Lastest. No, I can't keep that. Latest. Oh man, that was funny. Not lastest, latest. Alright, hashtag spelling. Okay, so actually we're gonna, because if that was just, if I was able to just copy and paste into there, if it actually, the words actually made sense, I wouldn't have to rebuild it every time. But since, okay, alright, I don't know how long my mic was out, but, okay, hopefully it wasn't too long. Yeah, if it was the whole thing, that sucks. But hopefully you're able to follow along as well as you could. But I just realized that. So it's okay, because this was really, I didn't talk about anything new. So then you could have just played music while we were going over this. So ta-da! I figured out the mic was back on afterwards. That's okay though. Yeah, latest contact, which would be Eric, and then latest test post, testing post. I mean, I think I only have one post in there. Yep. All right, pretty cool. So yeah, the USB cord fell out of my mic, so that could actually have been why USB this would stop working. It might have switched to my my mic through my TV, my computer though. So maybe you guys did hear me. Maybe you can hear me a little bit better now. So we'll see. Anywho, so I'm gonna go back. Now we're gonna start the security. So to start the security, we're actually gonna, the security portion. I'm actually gonna stop here. So we have to install two packages with npm. So we're gonna go npm install s, and then the first one is gonna be bcrypt, and this is gonna be nice for encrypting. Bcrypt.js, and that's good. Oh, that's not how you spell install. It's gonna be like that's not a command. No, I don't even want to try it. Install. There you go. npm install. Yeah, so there's that. So then, yeah, we're going to do bcrypt.js, and then the other one's going to be JSON web token. We'll get there in a second. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. What models do we have? Do we have that user model yet? No. Okay, so we're going to also make the user model, so we might as well do that while it's, so new file, and then we'll do user.js. Alright. Yeah, so the user.js, I'm just going to come to post, and I'm going to copy the whole thing. Why not? Even though I think the user one is a lot shorter, but it's okay. V, and then I'm going to change this to user. This is going to be user. This is going to be user. This is going to be user. Alright, and then I'm actually going to go back here because I think that one finished. Yep, and then this one is going to be, the next one is JSON web token, not JSON, JSON. Web token, and that's it. Web token. Should be, as long as I spelled everything right. Yep. Alright, so then while that's doing that, I'll come back here. We don't want the date. We are going to take 4 fields though. It's going to be, the first one's going to be email. Oh my gosh. How many times have I spelled email that way? Who knows? Alright, so email, and then we're going to do password. And then we're going to do first name, and we're going to do last name. So it's very similar to our contact, and these are not going to be, we're not really going to require these, nope, but they are going to be strings, so we'll keep that. And then this one's going to be true, password is required. It's going to be a string, but we're going to actually change it from a string that they send to us to an email is required. Alright, so then a string that to us to kind of an encrypted string so that we save it and it's not just saved as the regular password, which I learned that a company is doing that. Not sure if anybody heard that, but you should look up that little thing going on. I think it's kind of silly. Can't believe somebody would actually store a password as usual text, but you know, it's pretty. Oh well, we'll continue. Models, and then we'll do user. And then we're going to do const, and we're going to require bcrypt. Nice if we put a nice little space in there. Bcrypt equals require / models slash. Oh no. It's going to be actually called bcrypt, just like the thing we're requiring. So I'll actually bcrypt.js, but we're going to continue just to call ours bcrypt. There she is. So my mic's still on, so that's good. Don't worry, guys, I checked. All right, so then we're going to create a sign up, and it's going to do router.post. They're all going to be posts. Router.post. And this one's going to be to API user sign up. And this is actually / user sign up. And then we're going to do a function. What do we want to happen? Well, what we want to happen when we take a request response and then next is we want to create the user variable, which is going to be a new user. And then we're going to throw in the email, which is going to be equal to request. So what you guys will see is nice about body parsers that we don't have to do this often, but for this we do because of how we're encrypting the password. So it does all of that for us because the email and everything come in order. So it just knows the first one goes in email, and then the second one kind of does all that for us. But since we're about to encrypt, so bcrypt, and then we're going to do .hash synchronous, and then we're going to do request.body.password. Alright, and then it's going to be 10. Alright, and then we're going to do first name is going to be first name. Yep, I'm getting pretty far off. Maybe I just put first name. I don't know what I did. First name, request.body.first name. Then last name is going to be request.body.last name. Alright. So close that. Another one. So close both. I don't know why I had two open. Oh, that's actually because this is also spelled wrong. Email again. So we'll do email. And this one is this. So that's what that was. And I'm just going to go back to user really quick. The user model. I just want to see, it should be up here. Did I capitalize? Alright, I didn't get much further. If it is cutting out, I just put an error result. I passed that into the function that we had, and then if error, we're going to send back the error message. Return res status. That's status 500, which is the common error, and we're going to do JSON title. It's going to be an error occurred. Yeah, when you're working with passwords and usernames, you want to keep the errors very generic. You don't really want the user to see what the errors really are, even though I'm passing an error at this point in time. But yeah, in general, you want to keep it very generic. So if that works, then we're going to send a res.status of 201, and then to pass a JSON as well to it, and the JSON is going to be a message. User created, and then we're going to do object result. Boom, boom. So then I'm also going to put that there, that there, that there. Alright, so that's pretty good. And then we're going to do Sign in is going to be a little bit longer of a function, but yeah, so that's our sign up function, and then we just have sign in, and I think we probably yeah, we don't really need log out. Log out will just handle on this the other side, the Angular side, because you're only doing one thing you're really only doing one thing with a variable you already have on that side, so you don't need to save it or anything. But we do need to check that their sign-in stuff is valid, so that's why we're doing user/sign-in. And then we're going to do function request. We actually have to do one more thing actually on this side after this. But I won't do it yet. So actually I'll come back to that after we get everything. It's half of this set up on the other side. Then I'll come back. So user sign in. Then we're going to do user.find1. And we're going to do by email. Request.body.email. Yep. Then we're going to pass in the function. It's going to have an error. It's going to have a user. And then if error. Again, we're going to want to pass back an error. Return. This is where it's actually really tricky. So before we could have where's that status, and this is 500. And then I'm going to do .json. And then the title is going to be an error occurred. And then the error, do I really pass back? Oh, for this one I pass back error, but I know what this error message says. So the next one I'll pass back a string of text. So then if no user, then return, oh gosh, return res.status401. That's what it is. Okay, res.status401 JSON title invalid input. You don't really want to be too specific. We don't want to say, because when we get to the password, we're going to say, we don't want to say password incorrect, because if somebody's trying to break in, then they know, okay, well I got the name right. I know there's someone there that exists as that name, but message invalid input. Invalid input. Yeah, so we don't really want them knowing that there's a user of that name, so that's why all of this is happening. That's why those messages are what they are. Alright, so then we're going to do if, and then we should check the bcrypt. So if not, the bcrypted password, bcrypt dot compare sync request.body .password with user.password. Alright. Boom, boom, and then if they're not the same, then what we're going to do is we're going to say again, and we're going to say this. So I'm just going to copy, oh, did I not put, there you go. Really, it's just the same thing. Copy and paste is actually really good there because you want the exact same thing to be passed. Where is this coming from? Okay, I think that's wrong. Yeah, so we're gonna get rid of that, and then okay, so now we need to create our token. So once we have it, we're gonna create our token with JSON Web Token. So if our token equals JWT dot sign, so you're gonna sign the token with the person's user is gonna be user is user, and then we take. Oh, so this is gonna be this is a special. I'll leave it blank before I get there. And then you could set how long it takes for this token to expire. You can kind of see what the token is. Expires in, and we'll just do 720 seconds. All right, so that's good. Yep. So that's our token. So then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to send res status. Dot status. You guessed it. 200. Dot JSON. Alright, message. Well, if they successfully logged in, then we don't really care about hacking, because if they did that already, well, then they did pretty good. They did their job. I'm worried about it, but I mean, I don't need to worry about the messages I'm sending back to them, because they already know all the information. So we're going to send all this back. So there we go, and then I'm going to do boom, boom, boom. Alright, so then what I sent back here, right here, is actually, it's going to be a secret word. So whenever I push to GitHub and I have an actual thing, I usually leave this blank because I don't want people to know this word. It's how the token is encrypted when it's sent to the Angular or the iOS or whatever. It's how the token is encrypted. So it's not going to show your username. Your password's encrypted twice then. So yeah, it's really good to have this as like a long, nice thing, but then in mine that I'm showing you guys, I'm just calling it token. So please don't call it token if you're actually uploading this or using it as a thing. It's not good at all. It's not good practice. So this is pretty good. I'm noticing something that I'm not liking, so I'm actually going to put this as capital user. There's an underscore user and a capital user, so I do not like that. So user.findOne, and then that should be good. I don't think I use the actual user. I think that I use the variable every other time. Okay. This one right here. Alright, so that should be good. Let's see. I don't think Node 1's not running. But okay, so then that should be good. And then now, in order to test it, we need to come back to this side. And I'm going to create the login HTML, and I'm going to create the login component. So yeah, we're going to get started on that. Just looking at the time, 30 minutes. Nope, we have an hour left. Okay. Just plenty of time. So, well, first actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the user.ts. We're going to do new file, user.ts, and then I'm going to come to home. I know I do this too much. Yep. Copy V. Alright, and then let's see what the user TS has in store for us today. So it's going to be email string, just everything was just like what we had before. So email, if you remember, oh my goodness, how do I keep doing that? Password, yeah, okay. And then first name, and then we said that's optional. Name, so optional, and then last name and the ID obviously is always optional. Name, got it, okay, there we go. Alright, so then we're going to do email, jeez Louise, alright, then we got to do password, alright, and then we're going to have to do first name, last name, this is going to equal email, password, first name, last name. Yeah, so after this tutorial, if it goes according to plan, the only thing you're not going to know how to do is files with this. And it's easy to show you guys, so maybe I'll do a lesson after I finish, because this is going to, I really want to get to the deep learning one, so that's going to be the next class. But it's actually super easy, so there's a lot of tutorials that can run you the wrong way online and whatnot, but I've come to a good consensus on what the best way to go about that is with Angular and whatnot, in my opinion. So yeah, well, I'll probably do that at one point, and then you'll know everything from saving files on a server to showing them on a web server, and then showing images and videos is actually really easy on a lot of things. It's the saving part that's really hard, so, and the uploading and saving. So yeah, I'll do that at one point, but that's really the only thing I think you guys don't know how to do after this, so that'd be great. Know a lot about the C++, which is what we did, so that's really good. Yes. Now, let's see, I'm looking for one particular file here. Did I not? Oof. Okay, I didn't print out what I thought I did. Alright, that's okay, because I have it somewhere else. Actually, no, I printed that out. Where'd you go? Sorry guys, I printed out the files beforehand so that I don't confuse anybody, because I did that in the TK Inter one, and then it was confusing for everyone, including myself. So, yep, I could have swore. Okay, well, I did print it out, and I just cannot find it. So maybe it'll come up. But before that, we'll go over to the login.component. I wanted to show something quick about that. Alright, yep, so we'll go into login HTML, and we'll start working with that because we can. Alright, so first we'll open a div as usual. Divs are usually my first go-to, and then we're going to class equals center as usual with the other ones. And then we're going to do a mat. We're going to do a mat card again. Card class is going to be equal to MD card. Alright, and then alright, I'm going to copy again. So we're going to go to log, because that one's actually the closest. The form, actually, this is actually what I want this time. We're going to go to MD card. Yep, copy. Then I'm going to go back to the login, HTML. Yep, B. Alright, cool. So then the title is